Hi everyone and welcome to Module 2. For Module 2, you're going to be doing, let me go to the to-do list here. For Module 2, you're going to be reading chapters 3 and 4, and you have discussion board number 2, which we'll go into a little bit later on. For this week, I have the chapter 3 and 4 PowerPoints. I have the teaching summaries right here, which will be very helpful for you to use. I have some weekly videos that will help really develop the content. And I also have discussion board number 2. Now for this week, we're going to focus on one of the main concepts, which is supply and demand. Supply and demand influences a lot of the decisions that we have to make, given that supply and demand is based on the role of markets in establishing of prices. We all have to deal with changing prices and how markets will deal with those changing prices. So for this week, we're looking at chapter 4. When we look at chapter 4, we're going to look at the role of governments in chapter 4 and price ceiling, price floors. And you notice with price ceiling, price floors, there's a lot of challenges that are faced. I will bring in a couple different examples into this discussion board to really help your focus for this week. When you look at this week, you need to make sure you understand how to be able to review the supply and demand curves and the shifts of the supply and demand curves. That will be very important. With regard to the shifts, I've put a couple videos that will be very helpful for you to do well. So make sure to review those videos to assist with your effort. Now, let's go to the discussion board here. Now, with the discussion board, we're going to go over what some of the requirements are for discussion board number 2. Discussion board number 2, it's going to be 3 to 4 paragraphs. APA formatting is required in your discussion board. It's very important to make sure to focus on APA format because a lot of people don't focus on it and they lose easy points. All I need you to do is use your book, as that will be fine for a reference. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to provide support for your work. So you need to have your first post by Thursday. And the first post should be by the first post with the module. So when the module opens up, that the first week your initial post is due. And your 2 peer responses are due the week after. Now, your peer responses can be to any of the questions that I post or to any of your peers as well. But you're looking at these questions right here. The law of demand, how do you relate the law of demand to a recent purchase that you've had to make? You're looking at changes in the price and what determined the change in the price. Was it supply or demand? You're going to look at the determinants of supply or demand to determine what the reason for the change was. And then how do you capture your consumer surplus from a recent purchase that you had to make? So give me an example of that and how you've had to establish. Please make sure to complete your work on time to ensure that you do well and earn points, as no late work's accepted, but I look forward to your effort.